Yeah, how's the preparation going for coming A-League season?
Quite well. I think it's a long pre-season, so for as far as we're into it, I'm pretty happy with how I'm going, and I think the coach is happy with how the team's progressing, so we've still got a couple months till the season starts, but yeah, it's going well.
And considering last season you only played sort of 3-4 months coming in, I mean, what have you been working on? What do they want to see from you in this pre-season?
I think first and foremost, get my physical condition in better shape leading into the season. I mean, it's hard to sort of build on your fitness when you're coming back with only 4 or 5 months to go in the season. So that's the first goal, and then from then, I think playing-wise, I need to work on my consistency. I think that's always a problem with young players, consistency. So that's aim at mine, and yeah, slowly building.
And how did you find, I guess, your first couple of games in the A-League? I mean, it was pretty dramatic entry. I mean, everyone was talking about you after a couple of games.
Yeah, I didn't take too much notice to sort of the media and things like that, but it all happened pretty fast for me, the first few games, and yeah, I guess I was just obviously pretty pleased with my start to, I guess, my professional career, but I definitely know I still got a long way to go and a lot of things to work on. Not only for the coming season, but I guess for the future.
And I know you, after winning the Nike Academy, you had the chance to go to Reading, and that sort of fell through work permit issues.
Yeah, I wasn't able to get a work permit, which was pretty, I guess, disappointing. And yeah, I was pretty distraught when that happened. But I guess it's funny how football works. It turned out pretty good when I came back here, so I can't really have any complaints. And I'm pretty pleased with how, I guess, with the last season, going into this one, I have a pretty good feeling of how things are. So yeah, I'm happy with that.
And you were training with the Mariners before you went over?
Yeah, I trained with the Mariners before I went for my trial for the Nike Academy, and after being accepted to the Nike Academy, they actually offered me a contract here. So yeah, I guess when I obviously opted to go overseas and try my luck there, but obviously when it didn't work out, this was sort of the first place I was going to come to. So yeah, I slotted in quite well, and it's been sort of smooth sailing since then.
And coming into your first full A-League season, I mean, have you set a goal in terms of, you know, the games you want to play, you know, or as a starter, or, you know, maybe goals that you might want to score from the season? Because obviously you've scored some spectacular ones so far.
Yeah, well, I think within myself I've set a few goals of, I guess, how much I can contribute to the team, and in goals and assists, being in my position, it's pretty important to get some actual stats and figures to your name. So I'm looking to contribute in that sense, but also being, I guess, I'd like to be an integral part of the team, and be a regular starter that is playing 90 minutes week in, week out, that the team would miss if I wasn't there. So that's definitely what I'm striving to be a part of the team, and also will do.
And what do you think the chances of the Mariners this year? I mean, they've been sort of the front runners up there last 2 seasons, and this year's going to be very different with the Wanderers, new Melbourne victory, basically. You know, and Sydney FC have changed a lot. There's been a lot of change in a lot of the clubs.
Yeah, I think first as a whole, I think that A-League will be a very strong competition this year. You'll obviously have the same sort of teams up there with Brisbane and everything like that. And like I said, there's the Melbourne's looking pretty good, and the new Sydney team and Sydney FC have signed some new players, so it could be completely different, but I think it'll definitely be a strong one. As for us, I think we've definitely got the squad that's capable of being at the top of the table again, so being there last year, we obviously want to defend that title and you know, achieve the same, and hopefully go better in the finals. So that's a goal that we've set as a team, and yeah, I mean, so we've definitely got the squad to do it. People may think that, you know, we've lost a couple of key players in the past sort of 6 months or so, but I guess that opens opportunities for some of the younger players like myself to step up and hopefully take the opportunity and yeah.
And you had that offer to join Sydney FC, you know, in between the end of the season. I mean, but you chose to stay with the Mariners. What can you take me through that? Why did you choose to stay?
Yeah, there were a few other offers offers from other clubs in the league. It wasn't just Sydney, but I felt I had to make the right decision for my football future and how I was going to develop as a player. And I think in the environment that I'm in right now, it's the best thing to do for myself. So I think I've made the right decision. Yeah, that was sort of the main factor of what I felt was going to help my decision.
Sure. You got a taste with the Olyroos. I mean, how'd you find that experience qualifying for London? Unfortunately, didn't make it, but yeah.
Obviously, on a whole, it was disappointing to not qualify. But personally, I got my debut representing Australia at any level, so it was definitely one I'll cherish and won't forget. And yeah, it's great to be a part of the Australian setup. Like I said, hopefully down the track I might be in that setup again, big team, but we'll wait and see.
Have you been watching the London Olympics? Has it been hard thinking, you guys could be there playing against, Great Britain or Brazil or Uruguay?
Yeah, I think, yeah, I mean, I haven't been watching too many games, I guess it's a bad time. But, yeah, I think I read somewhere that we would have been in UAE's spot. They played Great Britain the other day against players like Ryan Giggs and things like that. So to know that, if Australia qualified, I would have had a chance of being in the squad and coming up against someone like that, who, being a Manchester United supporter, I've obviously look up to and been a big fan of. So to know that it could have been, maybe possibly myself in that position, it would have been unreal, but I guess wasn't to be.
And you didn't go to the RAS. You didn't play for the Joeys, the young Socceroos. So I guess you could be considered a little bit of a late bloomer. I mean, would you agree with that, or how would you describe your development?
I guess it's hard in Australian football. Everything is done in calendar years, and I was first made aware of this speaking to Ron Smith. I'm born in the end of December, and a lot of players I'm playing against born in January, February, essentially a year older than me. And when you're growing up that year, it's a long time to develop. So, there's a lot of studies been done. I couldn't give you a number right now, but if you look at sort of the international teams or the top teams in the world, when players are born, you'll find that in the earlier few months of the year, there's a lot more, which is a bit.
Really? Okay. Yeah.
It's a bit sort of, sad in a way, because being in that sort of position where you need that extra time to develop. And in juniors you don't always find that they're looking for the players with the best touch. I think nowadays they are more, but if you go back sort of 5-10 years, they're not really looking at who has the best touch or passing. It's sort of who's fit and strong. So I think
the athletes, yeah.
Yeah. So like I said, when you're young and developing, a year can make a big difference. So I think Australia's slowly moving in the right path, which is good. And the young development's getting a lot better. And
your manager, Andy's former Socceroo, I mean, how's he helped you? I mean, I think I read somewhere about some sort of Christmas Day training program and your hill sprints or something. Sounded pretty extreme.
Well, when I first got introduced to the chants by Ron Smith, and I wasn't really at a good standard of fitness level. He introduced me to Andy Burnell, and I knew him before, and my dad's known him for years. And I initially just started training with Andy, so this goes back a few years now, and just to get me fit. So that's how it started with him, and he's been great to me. And yeah, we've done a few hard sessions, but I guess it's only for the good man. Yeah.
And just on the Mariners, I know sort of over the last 6 months there's been a lot of talk about the Russians coming and taking over the club. I mean, has that affected the players at all in the Mariners team?
Not really. I guess it's been going on for a while now, so if it happens, but I guess that's not really for the players to worry about. For people in the office to take care of that, so I think our job's to concentrate on what's on the park, so we do that to our best.